Hi there. Welcome back to Easy Odds. We're looking at the semi-finals of the Champions League today. And once again, we're joined by a very special guest, ex-Manchester City and England international defender, Joleon Lescott. Hi, Joleon. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. A bit fragile today as it being my birthday and stuff. But yeah, good weekend all round.
Good to hear. And happy birthday as well. Sorry to drag you out on your birthday, but
No problem.
Dedication to the cause. But yeah, it's been a crazy week of Champions League football, and there's so much to talk about. What have you reckon to the quarterfinals then?
Some shocks, upsets, results-wise, but some great performances all round. Obviously enjoyed all barring one game due to a result, but in terms of the football being played, it's just a shame fans haven't been able to witness this in person. It's
been a crazy week of football, and especially for the Barcelona Bayern Munich match in particular, and also for the Lyon fans when being Manchester. It's a shame they weren't able to witness that. But yeah, talking about the semi-finalists, we have Lyon, Bayern Munich, PSG and RB Leipzig going into the last four. What conclusions can we actually take from the fact that this is the first time since 1990-91 that there's been no Spanish, Italian or English teams in the last four?
Is it a coincidence that, again, fans are not in stadiums and haven't played a part in their teams getting through to the final stages of the competition? A lot of credit needs to go, obviously, to the teams that have made it this far. And it looks, obviously, and it states that it's a Germany versus France kind of competition.
No one can begrudge any of those teams making the last four as well. They've all been absolutely brilliant. But let's move on to Tuesday night then. So the first semi-final that we have. So we have RB Leipzig. They take on PSG. In this game, the bookies make PSG the favourites. Their odds on at 8-11 on the easy odds grid. What have you seen in the quarterfinals that would make you agree with the bookies on this?
I think the performance from Neymar overall, I know he missed a couple of chances, but his overall performance was exceptional. And then the introduction of Mbappe, that was the kind of game changer. Once Neymar kind of had a sidekick at the level he was playing at and performing at, he was able to they were able to dominate the game and cause a lot more problems against Atalanta. So that was probably the key factors for them. But then obviously Leipzig, great performance against a very experienced Atletico team.
Neymar was definitely one of those players that stuck out against PSG. Like you said, he wasn't clinical in front of goal, but his work rate and creativity were second to none. Do you think he's a bigger asset maybe going forward now than Mbappe, who was great when he came on for 30 minutes?
It's hard to say. Again, I think they both shine and enjoy playing with each other. I still believe Mbappe holds the key to all their success. I think he has a more clinical mindset in front of goal, given the opportunities that Neymar had. And if that's Mbappe, in my opinion, he scores that. He has a striker's mindset and coolness when he's in them positions. But the creativity, like you said, from Neymar was exceptional. And again, we can't underestimate how key he was in the first half and then obviously and his part in the two goals.
We did touch up it in the last video where you were praising RB Leipzig in particular in defence. And there's one man who really stood out against Atletico, and that was Upamecano. Only 21 years old, and he already looks like he's been playing at the top level for about a decade. What does he do so well, and how will he be able to keep Mbappe, Neymar and Icardi quiet?
Seen him for a number of seasons now, and in regards to what he does so well, I'm trying to think. I think what he doesn't do well, he's exceptional in every area. There was instances where he showed maturity and class when Costa was trying to absorb the ball and keep ball retention for his team, and he was just like brushing him off like he was a child. And it was crazy to see someone physically overpower Diego Costa that easy. But also in possession, he was able to use the ball really well and marshal. And again, like you said, he has the capabilities to compete with any style of striker. It will be difficult because the three names you've just mentioned, more so Mbappe and Neymar, but there's only one kind of Upamecano. So it's going to be difficult, but I'm sure he'll be up for the challenge.
For sure. And another person who is completely punching above their weight is their manager, 33-year-old Julian Nagelsmann. He's already making a name for himself, and you can see him being in the game for a long time at the highest level. But, where do you see him in the future? I mean, this is clearly a guy who's got no ceiling, surely.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a massive part of what Leipzig are about and their recent success. I think he's been managing for 5-6 years, so he's not new to him. He's dedicated to his craft. Everyone I've kind of spoke to that I've seen him work said he's so detailed, he's so passionate, which is what you kind of need to be, and obsessed. With regards to where his future lies, who knows? I'm sure Leipzig want to keep him for as long as possible, but if they have the ultimate success and win this competition, it'd be difficult for them to hold on to him, because he's done it with obviously some world-class players, but he's done it with a team that no one expected to get this far, never mind if they go on to win the competition.
No, definitely. I mean, their recruitment is absolutely impeccable for a side. I mean, they've only been around 11 years, haven't they? So they know what they're doing, basically, which is it's everything you want from a fresh blood team. Let's have a score prediction on this game.
We touched on the two players that stand out for me, and that's Neymar and Mbappe. And I think if he starts this game, Mbappe, I think they have too much. So I would say PSG by a goal.
That'll be a tight match then. Okay, so let's move on to Wednesday. So we have Bayern Munich against Lyon, which I don't think anyone predicted this matchup when the quarter-final was drawn against Man City. Let's start with Bayern Munich. That game against Barcelona was, it was completely mind-blowing in terms of how dominant they were. But they weren't perfect though, were they? They were quite, at the back they were kind of a bit leaky still. They played a very high defensive line. Do you think this is something that Lyon can really capitalise on?
I'm sure they will look to, but looking at the setup and team selection from Barcelona, I honestly believe that style of play or that kind of approach was for Barcelona. They believe that they didn't have any pace in the starting lineup, and with the pace they have at the back with Alaba and obviously Davies, they believe that if they do get in behind, they can recover. Obviously, it didn't happen every time, but also with the kind of intensity and physicality they have in their team, they believe they were going to score a high number of goals. So they don't have to be perfect at the back, but it allows everyone else to be further up the field, which evidently means they're close to the goal when they win the ball.
One man who may be a defender but is also incredible going forward is Alphonso Davies, and he showed yet again why he is probably one of the best fullbacks in the world at the moment. Is this the man you think Lyon really needs to be careful of?
He's one of them, definitely. Again, I think if you've seen the kind of interviews and stuff after the game, they all talk about how much of a team they are, and it shows. They have, obviously, Lewandowski, who's the top goal scorer in the competition, but they all score a high number of goals, and they all play for each other and work for each other. But in terms of Davies, he's an exceptional talent. Again, seeing him a few years ago when he was playing, I would say, probably in his more natural position of left wing and forward, and he's came to Europe and been able to develop an understanding to play fullback. So the kind of attributes and abilities he has is something we haven't seen of recent years in a left back position. I think he does have the potential to go on to be the best left back in the world over the next few years.
No, he's definitely a special player. Another special player and a bit of a more familiar face in the Bayern starting lineup is Thomas Muller. German international's man of the match against Barcelona. He looked deadly in front of goal and also creative as well. What makes him such a special player, though?
I think everything he does is efficient. He's probably not, in the greatest respect to him, not exceptional in any one thing. He's just very, very good in everything. He obviously scores goals, his work rate. I think there was numerous times when Messi picked up possession and he was the first person there to make the tackle. And I think that's what kind of got him the man of the match. His work for the team rather than his goals. They were kind of great, obviously, and vitally important, but there weren't great finishes in regards to that. But his efficiency and his work ethic for the team is unrivaled. And that's what I think stands out for Bayern in general.
Well, let's move on to Lyon then. So they beat Manchester City 3-1 at the weekend, which many people were completely shocked by. Man City were pretty dominant in that game in terms of possession, but obviously they're a great counter-attacking side. They've shown that against Juventus and now against Manchester City. But the bookies have them at a huge 12-1 to win this game. Do you agree with this? Do you think this we can write them off right now, or is this another case?
Well, we definitely can't write them off because I think everyone has kind of done that the previous two games with Juve and Man City. So I don't think we can write them off. In regards to them not being favourites, I understand that with the dominant performance Bayern had against Barcelona. I'm sure Lyon will be happy to be underdogs. They've been underdogs in the previous two rounds and done exceptionally well and got through. So they pose a different threat that Bayern will have faced. They're a lot more rigid defensively, a lot more physically able to compete that side of the game, and obviously have a decent balance when attacking as well. So I understand why they're not favourites, but you cannot write them off.
One person who was written off in this country in particular was Memphis Depay. Since he's moved to Lyon from Manchester United, he's been he's been a completely different player. What kind of danger can he bring to this game on Wednesday, and what will Bayern have to watch out for?
Yeah, again, the high line, I'm not sure they'll be able to leave that much space for him to run into, because you just won't recover. Again, like you said, since he's gone to Lyon, he's able to obviously add a lot more goals to his game. He had that in Holland, but from a winger position, but now he's playing as a centre forward, and he's developed playing with the ball, with his ball back to play, and able to kind of have good ball retention so the team can get up the field and bring teammates in. He scored 6 goals in his competition, so I'm sure the Bayern kind of back four will show him a lot of respect and not try to play a high line as they did against Barcelona.
So let's get a score prediction on this one. Is it going to be 8-2 again, do you think? Or...
I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if Lyon score it and concede 8 goals. In regards to the predictions, yeah, I agree with the majority of the bookmakers saying Bayern are favourites. I think it'll be a lot closer than Barca Bayern. But yeah, I would say Bayern to go through.
Do you want to score on that? Do you want to stick your neck out?
Let's go possibly Bayern by 2 goals, due to the fact that if they get 1-up and later stages of the game, Lyon have to press a little bit higher and a bit more expansive. It may leave more room.
Thanks, Joleon. If you want to back Joleon's predictions, head into the description below and head to Easy Odds for all the best Champions League odds and bookmaker offers. Again, I'd like to thank Joleon for joining us. We'll be back again later this week to preview the Champions League final. It's going to be amazing. In the meantime, enjoy the football and we'll see you again.